Hi there, friends! Today's video is going to be about music because this week's theme is about music. So yesterday, my iPod decided that it wanted to not have enough memory anymore, so I had to go through my entire iTunes library and get rid of a lot of the songs because there wasn't enough room for all my songs. Which is both a way of illustrating that I like a lot of music and that I've recently thought about which music is important to me. So I'm going to tell you which music is important to me. I used to be one of those people when you asked me what kind of music I listen to, I would just say, oh, I listen to everything, which is dumb because no one listens to everything. There's too many things out there for you to listen to everything. So now, I listen to as many different things as I can, but mostly I just listen to indie rock because I like indie rock. That's not the only thing I listen to. Later in the summer I'm going to go to a Bruce Springsteen concert and I'm more psyched for that than anything else. But most of my music falls into the indie rock persuasion. Also, a lot of YouTube music. My favorite YouTube artists are Driftless Pony Club and Tom Milsom and Lorena Segura and Lemon Demon. Lemon Demon was the fourth one. Those are my big four. And also I have a lot of friends who make music who are really talented at it, including the four of you guys. Do you know that y'all can sing? Because y'all can sing. You can. You're good at it. The first album I ever bought on my own was Demon Days by Gorillaz because Feel Good Inc. was my favorite song for a while, and I listened to that and it thoroughly blew my mind, and as a result I've liked a lot of weird indie music like that. As a matter of fact, Gorillaz are probably still my favorite band. I like all of their albums, and for very different reasons from one another. I listen to them when I'm in very different moods. Demon Days is probably my favorite, but aside from that, Daft Punk are really good. I also listen to some electronic stuff, but really mostly just Daft Punk and Justice. Beck is really good, and Radiohead are really good, and The Strokes are really good, and the first couple Weezer albums are really good. So much music out there is really good. I get into these phases where I get really into one album and it's the only thing I listen to for like a week or so, and then I get really into another album. This week it's Kimbra. I've been listening to a lot of Kimbra lately, because her album is really good. I'm also trying to make music too. I do covers on YouTube sometimes with the keyboard that's behind the camera, but I also write electronic music on my computer, and I've been trying to write actual songs with it, but lyrics are really hard, so I might not end up doing that. But in general, there's nothing I like more than just discovering new bands and new albums that sound like things that I haven't heard before. I love when I hear something, and my first reaction is just to go what is this? And after a couple of listens, I learned to really love it. So I try to have that experience as often as possible. And sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes I listen to stuff that's just really weird and I don't get, and then I end up not liking it. But a lot of times it winds in me loving an album that I hadn't loved in the first place, and really having a really deep connection with something that I'm listening to. You can go ahead and call me a hipster if you want from the bands that I've mentioned so far, and the fact that I like, interesting experimental music, but I'm not nearly hipster-y enough to be considered a full-time hipster. There are people who are so much more into it than I am, and have heard so much more than I have, so yeah. And I could name drop bands for a while, as I've done in this video, but I don't think anyone really wants to see me mention band names for an hour or so, so I'm gonna cut it here. That's all you're gonna see from me and my iPod. Take care.